What's going on, YouTube? I am Germ here, and today we have some good news and some bad news to talk about. First, obviously, the bad news being that the CS2 release was really like nothing that anyone expected. It was pretty much, I want to say, as horrible as possible, because obviously the game could suck much worse. The release could have gone much more poorly, but it certainly did not live up to the hype, especially the hype that we saw back in like April of May that just absolutely skyrocketed the CS2 market to new hypes. And now, obviously, looking back on it, the hype that was surrounding CS2 at that time was truly unsustainable. You know, for the game to really come out and explode as much as people were expecting, even if the release went as well as possible, never really made sense. So many of the games were already baked in, and no matter what, the CS economy and markets we're likely going to struggle or see some kind of dip, but again, that's what I think a lot of people were saying at the time. Maybe people weren't expecting it to be this bad, but again, the prospects for CS2 are in the long term. If CS2 is going to be a great game and the CS markets are going to do well, it's going to be over the next 2, 5, 10 years, whatever. But yeah, obviously, so far, CS2 hasn't done great. I know this tweet from Morocco here saying, CS2 lost 11% of their player base since release. You know, they're down something like 100,000 players in the last 30 days. And I think those numbers have even maybe been a little bit lower now if you look more updated, because that's from a couple days ago. People are panicking. People are losing money. Their skins are going less and less and less. They're checking their inventories. Skins have been hit hard. Knives have been hit hard. Gloves have hit hard. Whatever. But the one shining light in this entire market, and this is the great news. Again, depending on what you're invested in, what your goals are, or who you are, you could be really happy, sad, whatever. The market's been down. The game hasn't been doing great. But I don't think that's, all doom and gloom. I think, like I said, in the end, I think that's still going to be okay. But what has been going quite well and what has still potentially a very, very bright future ahead of it, but also adds more negative news to the market is this. This is cases, which obviously I've been talking about a ton recently, and I'm going to continue to talk about because I think cases are really an amazing opportunity in this dark and gloomy market right now. Jesus tweeted out this on top of everything else that cases already have going for it. He said, CS2K's opening numbers have eclipsed 40 million a month for the first time since May, a 33% increase since September. Now, how much of this was when the CS2 release actually came out, all the new players that came in, actually opened up a bunch of cases. Are these numbers still being sustainably high as of late, in the past couple of weeks? I don't know, but still, it seems like October was a huge month and is still currently. Obviously, we're in the middle of October, but from September 23rd to October 23rd was a huge booming period for cases, up 33%. Despite the negative response to CS2, the community is apparently happy to keep on gambling at stupider and stupider rates. And again, this has been part of the amazing thing for cases as an investment, that especially the cases that aren't in the active duty pool, the cases that are not being dropped, they are being opened at unsustainable rates. The supply of these cases is going down every day, every week, every month, every year, because these cases are very, very rare and hard to get. And people love opening them. People love getting the knives, the gloves, the old skins. And again, they're just not dropping at fast enough rates. So the supply goes down. The demand is staying high, if not increasing over time, especially for some of these, top performing cases. And even when the player base dips, the fact that we have still had an insane increase over this time period is insane. We have so many people, obviously big time streamers that are just coming on the game just to do case openings, and they're doing case openings on YouTube and Twitch and Kick and all these other places for their fans. And then their fans who maybe don't even play CS2 are also going on to these just to open cases. There are literally people who don't even play the game who are just opening cases. Obviously, this is insane for the case investing scene and investing market. If we look at Esport Fire, we can check out, some of the indexes to see where things have been headed recently. Obviously, the Esport Fire 300 graph, which tracks like 300 popular items that they deem to be a good, gauge of the market, has been going down and down and down since October 3rd. So this is, past 20 days, things have pretty much just been straight down. They've been in a nosedive. The CSGO all items graph, every item in the game has been going down. It has been a nosedive. Cases graph pre-2016 has kind of been going down, but again, this depends what cases you are looking at, because in any group or item or asset class or whatever, there's going to be your stinkers and your winners and your losers and whatever. So things have kind of been going down there. The cases from 2016 to 2019, they've been going down, but have been rebounding recently. And then your cases from 2020 to 2022 have been absolutely killing it over this time period, just booming, up something like 20% in the past couple of weeks. And again, you still have stuff like agents that's been outperforming the market. You have things all over the place. But while the market has been down, cases have been up. And again, we're going to look at some specific cases that look even better. So maybe those Esport Fire graphs don't even tell the whole story. But Jesus says here, this represents $100 million of revenue for Valve, so case openings are obviously not going anywhere. And this is what I also thought was very, very interesting. Ross CSGO says, record unboxing numbers plus a decreasing player base equals the perfect recipe for a decreasing skins market. Obviously, we know less people playing the game, less people buying skins, less people using skins, and more people leaving the game and even selling out of their skins is going to be bad for the skin market. But obviously, people increasing the number of cases they're opening is also bad for the skin market, because while opening cases is decreasing the supply of those cases and increasing their rarity and increasing their demand and having their numbers or their just value go up over time, the more cases people opening, the more quantity of these skins, the knives, the gloves, the rare skins, even the not rare skins is increasing. So that's bad. Now, if people are opening a crazy amount of cases and the supply of these skins are increasing, but the player base is increasing and people are buying these skins and people are using these skins, that maybe isn't the worst thing in the world. Maybe that can still be good for the skins market overall, and that's what we've seen over time. But when the player base is stagnant or when the player base is decreasing and people love opening cases as much as they do right now, that is extra bad news for people with a big portion of their portfolios in gloves and knives and skins and all that stuff. Now, again, people have been saying time and time again, hey, when the market is dipping like this, when things have been down over the past 3 weeks, this could be a great time to buy. Again, if you believe in CS2 in the long run, if you believe Valve is going to fix this game, if they're going to fix the cheating problems, if they're going to fix, the lag and the subtick and the gunplay, and just win like major tournaments like Copenhagen, is that going to explode the popularity of CS2 and all this stuff? If you believe in it, then hey, this is an awesome opportunity to buy the dip in the skins. But again, these unboxing numbers could help explain a little bit more why the skin market has been decreasing over time. But I know people have been asking me, I got a comment the other day, is like, what are some of your top 5 cases to invest in, or what cases you're looking at and all that stuff. Now, I have bought 2 cases very recently. I only have like $500 or $600 total in cases. I want to add more to my case position, but I have so much money in Paris, and it's kind of just a crazy time right now, so I don't want to load too much money into cases right now. But obviously, I think cases are an amazing investment. I think people have made a ton of money throughout CS history in cases. They've probably been, the best way to really get rich in the CS markets. But recently, where I have put a couple $100 each has been in the Prisma 2 cases, which again, if you look at the last month, this is done quite well. Again, if you look at the Esport Fire graph and you look at the Prisma 2 graph, it certainly doesn't tell the same story. Prisma 2 cases have gone from 82 cents a month ago to about $1.08, $1.11, $1.10, somewhere in there right now. These have been killing it. I've owned these for a couple weeks now. I have been very, very happy with my investment so far. I think Prisma 2 cases are going to do very well over time. I think it's a great case. I think it's a great investment. I have also, I haven't bought this recently, but obviously Chroma 2s are very, very popular. This is one that I would not mind owning and could maybe see myself buying in the future. This one might be a little bit overhyped, a little bit overrated right now, but the performance has been quite good. 289 up to a peak of like 367, but now down to around 317. Even here from 308 to 317, they've been flat to okay in the last month for Chroma 2. I wouldn't really mind those. Danger Zone, I think, is another very, very good case that people like. This has been killing it over the last month, going from 77 cents to $1.10. That is some very, very nice gains. We have the Operation Riptide case, definitely one of my favorites. I don't think I own any of this, but it's gone from 563 up to 811. I mean, that is crazy. That is a huge gain for the Riptide case. I should have bought those. I'm kind of regretting that. But the other case that I did buy a couple weeks ago is the Revolver case, which I am a fan of as well, and I think it will do quite well over time. This one has been a little bit more flat over the past month, going from 211 to about 230. So we've seen some small gains there, nothing to complain about. But I did think that this news from Jesus was very, very huge, that case numbers, despite the game having a stagnant to decreasing player base, case opening numbers are going absolutely crazy. This makes me love case investing even more and more and more. And again, people love opening cases. People are not going to stop opening cases. Even if people have issues with the game or whatever, people still love this stuff. And again, I don't think people are going to have issues with the game forever. And the game is still, holding like 1 million players or anything like that. It's not like CS2 is dead or dying or anything. It's still wildly popular. It's just maybe not as popular as fast. It's not as popular as fast as we would have hoped, but I still think there's potential. I still think it's going to be okay. But either way, cases are looking great, even as the rest of the market maybe looks not so much. But that's pretty much it for this video today, guys. Hopefully I catch you in the next one. But until then, peace.